Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when you check your bank account? Not because of the balance, but because of a strange, unexpected fee? Or maybe you've been on the phone for hours, navigating a labyrinth of automated menus, just to speak to a human being who seems powerless to help you. It's a feeling of helplessness, a quiet frustration that's becoming all too common. It makes you wonder, at what point did banks stop being our financial partners and start feeling like our financial overseers? It wasn't always this way. Banks were once pillars of the community, built on trust. You knew your banker by name. They helped you buy your first home, start a business, plan for your family's future. They were facilitators of dreams. But somewhere along the line, the script flipped. The personal touch vanished, replaced by algorithms and automated systems. The focus shifted from customer service to profit maximization, often at the customer's expense. Think about it. Hidden fees, complex terms and conditions buried in pages of fine print, and overdraft charges that can feel like a punishment for being just a few dollars short. It's a system that seems designed to catch you out, to profit from your small mistakes. A $10 overdraft can spiral into $100 in fees before you even realize what happened. It's a debt trap, perfectly legal, and it preys on those who are most vulnerable. Is this serving the customer, or is it a form of control? And it's not just about fees, it's about access. In the age of digital banking, thousands of physical bank branches have closed, creating what are known as banking deserts. For the elderly, for those in rural communities, or for people who simply aren't tech-savvy, this is a huge barrier. They're being left behind, cut off from essential financial services. When you're forced to travel miles just to deposit a check or get cash, you're not being served. You're being controlled by your circumstances. Circumstances created by these institutions. Then there's the data. Every swipe of your card, every online transfer, every payment you make is tracked. Banks know your spending habits better than your closest friends. They know where you eat, what you buy, where you travel. This data is incredibly valuable. It's used to build profiles, to market products to you, and in some cases, to make decisions about your financial future. We're told it's for our convenience, to offer us personalized services. But when does personalization cross the line into surveillance? When does a helpful suggestion become a calculated manipulation to get you to spend more or take on more debt? Let's talk about the big picture. After the 2008 financial crisis, we were promised change. We were told that banks would be held accountable, that the system would be reformed to protect ordinary people. Yet here we are, years later, and the biggest banks are bigger than ever. They've paid fines? Sure, but those fines are often just a fraction of their profits, the cost of doing business. The fundamental power dynamic hasn't changed. They still hold immense power over the economy, and by extension, over our lives. When a bank denies you a loan for a home or a small business, it's not just a financial decision, it's a life-altering event. The algorithm that made that decision doesn't know your work ethic, your character, or your dreams. It only sees numbers, and if those numbers don't fit its rigid criteria, you're out. The door is shut. This isn't empowerment. This is gatekeeping on a massive scale. It dictates who gets a chance to build wealth and who is left struggling. And the story gets even more concerning when we look at the future. We're hearing more and more about central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. On the surface, they sound efficient, but they also offer the potential for an unprecedented level of control. Imagine a world where every single transaction you make is recorded on a central ledger. A world where your money could be programmed, meaning it could be given an expiration date, or restricted from being spent on certain things. Think about that for a second. What if a government, working with the central bank, decided they didn't like what you were buying, or where you were spending your money? What if they could just turn it off? This isn't some far-fetched conspiracy theory. These are concepts being openly discussed by some of the most powerful financial institutions in the world. They talk about it in terms of efficiency and security, but the potential for control is chilling. It's the ultimate shift from serving the people to controlling them. Your financial freedom could become conditional, subject to the whims of whoever is in charge. Your bank account would no longer be your private property, but a tool for social and economic engineering. So what do? It's easy to feel powerless against such a massive system, but we're not. The first step is awareness. It's talking about this, sharing our stories, and understanding that your personal frustration is part of a much larger collective experience. When you share your story of a ridiculous bank fee or a denied loan, you're shining a light on the cracks in the system. You're letting others know they aren't alone. We need to demand more transparency. We need to read the fine print, ask tough questions, and support institutions that actually prioritize their customers. This might mean looking at smaller, community-focused banks or credit unions, which often have a different business model, one that's more aligned with the well-being of their members rather than just shareholder profits. They are often more accountable to the communities they serve. We also need to be vocal about our privacy. Our financial data is ours. We should have control over how it's used. We must push back against the idea that constant surveillance is the price we have to pay for convenience. This isn't about being anti-bank, it's about being pro-people. It's about wanting a financial system that empowers us, that helps us build better lives, that serves its original purpose. A system based on trust, fairness, and respect, not control, manipulation, and surveillance. The power of these institutions comes from us, from our money, our trust, and our participation. We have more influence than we think. What has your experience been? Have you ever felt controlled rather than served by your bank? Share your story in the comments below. Let's start a real conversation about this, because the more we talk, the harder we are to ignore. Your story matters. Let's reclaim our financial autonomy together. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to reading what you have to say.